border of California, and we'll follow you until you do. Go! Trespassing. They smelled like whiskey when they dragged me out of the cell. They got into their car as I walked in front, and whenever I slowed down, they would hit me with their bumper. Don't stare, anak. After 2 days and 3 nights, I caught a freight train to San Francisco. I'd like to build a house here someday. How can a place so beautiful have so much hate in it? It was like this for a long time, hopping from one place to another, looking for work. Yes, sir, I'll wash your dishes. $7 a week? I ran away from that job after 3 weeks. You haven't seen me, sir, in Santa Barbara before because I just arrived. Of course I can work at the bakery, no problem. 3 months later, I was gone. Now, in bigger towns, no matter how hard the work was, we'd get dressed up. Oh, sige, I'll meet you there. Sometimes we get dressed up even if we don't have a job. Now, a Filipino who has a job at a restaurant, hotel, or rich person's home would carry their work clothes in a small bag and afterwards go to a gambling house or a dance hall. I used to go often because I love to dance. After a while, it became too loud, and I remembered Miss Stranded, so I went to the library. What? You don't believe me? I'm proud to have my Los Angeles Public Library card. Silence. It smells of knowledge. I was at a library in Lampok when I overheard Pinoys talking about going to a Landstrom cafe. Curiosity led me there later that night. There's a Filipino smoking a cigar, spitting like a big man into a box on the floor. He's going to the back room where other people are gambling and cursing. I'm going to follow him. Ah! Carl! It's Amado, your brother! Look at you! My, have you grown! Life is tough, Carl. I used to have a good job, but the depression came. You shouldn't have come to America, Carl. Now you can never go back. We are in a bootleg racket. Prohibition. Amado put money in my pocket when he realized that I wasn't going to stay and work with him. I went to Los Angeles. He called me Carl. It was on Vermont Avenue at a pool hall when 2 policemen shot a Filipino in the back. As I was leaving, Macario entered the restaurant. Allos, casino crime is not a good place to be. Halika, let's go to my hotel where I live on Broadway Street. Stay with me. We'll find work together. Okay. There are many rich people here on Wilshire. You walk on one side of the street and I on the other. What are you doing? Walk! Okay, now, knock on the doors of the houses and ask if they need their rugs clean. When they say yes, grab each of the rugs one by one, roll up your sleeves and your pants, and beat them as much as you can with the broom they gave you. Knock on the doors! After cleaning rugs, we go back to the house to get paid. When the man pays with coins, Macario complains, 50 cents for 8 hours of work. What more do you want, you brown monkey? My educated brother is just another brown monkey in America. We have to come from a different angle, Carl. An angle where they don't have to see our brown skin, yet still hear us. The pen is mightier than the fist. We'll fight through our words and publish our very own magazine called The New Tide. Right? We right? It's as if I've never heard of that word before. His words ignited a fire inside of me. I could see myself talking to millions without ever opening my mouth. Millar was one of our newspaper reporters, and with the help of Jose and Gonzo, we were able to interview workers everywhere. When our first issue was distributed, we took 100 copies. Mga kababayan, workers of the field, our stories are in these papers. Read them, talk about our struggle, and make sure to read it to those who do not have the luxury to do so. They too are part of our movement. The publication of The New Tide strengthened the Filipino Workers Association and the UCAPAWA, or United Cannery, Agricultural, Packing, and Allied Workers of America. But soon, word got around, so retaliation is inevitable. Me, Jose, and other labor leaders met up at Millar's house in San Francisco to set out a plan. Look, special committees have been formed in the state legislature and in Congress to have migratory workers regimented. They are trying to dismantle our unionism by telling lies. Our kababayans in urban and rural areas must stick together. Then we can proceed to join forces with our Mexican brothers and plan an all-out statewide strike. It was a long road ahead for all of us. Jose and I were in Santa Maria when we heard that Millar was having trouble in San Jose. We took the first bus over but did not find him. That is when I realized that our plight was no longer a Filipino issue, but a labor issue. Hermanos! Hermanos! I come here today to tell you what is going on. It is not only happening in the lettuce fields, but everywhere else. If we are not united, you will be at the mercy of your employer. There is no other choice but to strike. Through Jose's Spanish translation, they listened and they heard. By the end of the day, only 50 men remained to work in the farms, and the rest joined us. Later that night, Jose and I were at the back room of a restaurant, preparing a leaflet, when 5 white men came into the room. It was too late. Millar, you're bleeding. Before I could say another word, they grabbed him, dragged him.
This is the right spot. No worries, boy. The trees will hide us.
Beat him up as much as you like.
Stand up, you brown monkey! Ah! That's it! Crawl, boy! No one's gonna find you here! Go on!
Take off his clothes, tie him up to the tree. Let me get the tar and feathers. Don't mess with the Mexicans, boy. They're ours. Don't be shy, boy. We'll make you a brown monkey that flies. Then, they did the same thing to me.